Hey guys, I get asked all the time how I get the sounds that I get with my electric violin. The answer is that I have one of the most powerful multi-effects and modeling units available on the planet. It's the Line6 Helix. It's an insanely powerful piece of gear. You're really only limited by your imagination and your ability to program the unit. That being said, sometimes that much power can be intimidating and it's hard to know even where to start. There are tons of presets already on the Helix, but they're all built for guitar. And there are tons of preset packs available on the internet, but again, they're all pretty much for guitar. So I've got a 16 pack of violin specific presets for sale. I'm really fast at programming the Helix, and I've probably got 3 or 4 hours in building and testing these presets. If I was a first-time Helix user, it would probably take me 2 or 3 times as long to build these. So for 30 bucks, you're saving yourself a ton of time. Let's go ahead and get right into what these sound like. Each one of these clips you're going to hear was recorded directly into Logic. Played a 5-string Viper with a Barbera pickup. All right, this first one is an acoustic violin patch. This one has an impulse response to give you the woodiness that you hear, a little bit of reverb for some space, and some EQ. With my preset pack, I include 3 violin body impulse responses, a viola impulse, a cello impulse, and a hybrid violin cello impulse that I made. You can pick the sound you like best for your instrument. I can't tell you which preset's going to sound or which impulse response is going to sound best to you, but you get to pick. This patch also has a delay and a wah programmed in, but they're turned off in the default setting. You can turn them on and off in Stompbox mode. Next one is a cello patch. Okay, real talk. The pitch shifter on the Helix is not the greatest. You can cover up a bit with a cello body impulse and some reverb as I've done. For a solo cello sound, you're probably better if you've got an external pitch shifter, but in a mix, yeah, this patch is often good enough. Plus Line6 is always releasing new free updates, and I'm told that a decent polyphonic pitch shifter is high on the list. The third one is a really fun one that I like for creating string pads. What you're hearing is a particle reverb sound with all the dry violin dialed out. So I have the volume pedal set so that it brings your dry sound in and out if you want, but the default is with the dry all the way out. It's just the wet sound and it's luscious. It's beautiful for creating pads. The fourth patch is just a straight electric violin sound with a little bit of tube preamp, some EQ, and some reverb. If you want that sort of jazzy, clean, electric sound, this is it. The next few are distortion patches. Now, not all distortions are created equal, so we're going to go up in order of increasing intensity. Patch number 5 is a blues distortion done with a Dr. Z amp model. It's pretty chill, but you can rough it up a little bit with some stomp boxes that you can access in Stompbox mode. There's also a delay ready to go too, and additionally it has a wah pedal teed up. So all you have to do is click your toe down hard on the volume pedal once it's wide open. Patch number 6, I call the hair distortion. It's a little bit of a hair metal sound done with a Marshall Plexi model. Like the blues patch, there's a distortion, a compressor, a delay, and a wah, all teed up and ready to go in Stompbox mode. Patch number 7 I call the Gent Distortion. It's a brutal sound with a Bogner Überschall model. You want heavy? This is it. All right, patch number 8 is a fun one that I put together using 2 separate signal paths. The top path has a harmonizer set to a 5th up from the note that you're playing, which gives you a power chord. That power chord then gets fed to a Marshall Plexi amp, giving you that distorted power chord sound. The bottom path has a pitch shifter that drops your note an octave and then feeds it to a bass amp. So you get a power chord on top and a bass note on the bottom with you only playing one note. So super heavy, super easy. Now we're going to get more into some of the keyboard sounds. Patch 9 is a flanger. It gives a bit of a synthy sound. Patch 10 is a filter called the Growler. It's a distorted synthy auto wah. The harder you bow, the more it opens. It's a lot of fun for creating some cool textures underneath a rock song. Patch 11 is called an octave up synth. It almost sounds like an electronic flute or something. I really like this for solos on funk tunes. Think like Prince, Daft Punk, Nile Rodgers, some of that stuff. Patch 12 is a pad sound. I take your violin sound and I EQ out all the high frequencies, making it much closer to a sine wave. And I take a little bit of chorus, some delay, some verb. It's a nice way to sort of put a sound floor underneath the song. People may not be able to make out exactly what you're playing, but it fills out a mix really nicely without being obvious sort of violin-y type sound. Patch number 13 is just a straight auto wah. It's like the Growler. The harder you bow, the more it opens up. I use it for some sort of attacky synth sounds. If I'm going to come at a note kind of hard and open that auto wah, I can come at it softer and leave it a little more mellow. Patch number 14 is a phaser. It's a little bit similar to the flanger, but it's wider and deeper. It's also cool for some synthy pads if you want a little more edge. It takes up a little more space too, just sort of fills out with that phaser. Patch number 15 is just a straight ahead wah. The problem for me with a wah pedal on a violin is that they get really harsh when your toe's down and they completely disappear in a mix when your heel is down. So I've dialed back the mix on this wah pedal a little bit and I compress the dog mess out of it so the toe doesn't jump out at you and slap you, and then the heel doesn't just vanish. You can do so much with a wah pedal if you're clever. It's a super, super useful pedal. Patch number 16 is a synth bass patch. I have a lot of fun with this. I double a bass line on synthy stuff. I can cover for a bass player if he's soloing. I can allow a bass taker to take a song off. Maybe he's going to sing one or play another instrument or do some slap pop stuff. But yeah, having the ability to do a synth bass is kind of nice. All right, I hope this was a helpful overview of the patches that I've got for sale. It's easy to make transactions. You can PayPal me at matt7738@gmail.com. You send me 30 bucks, I'll email you the presets and the IR files. If I come up with some updates and you're a previous customer, I'm happy to email you those for free. If you bought my presets before mid-February 2020, you have the old ones. You can hit me up and I'll send you the newest ones gratis.